Question is this, how many Hamas members must hide in a school here in LA for us to bomb that school? How many? I don't think we bombed that school under any circumstance here in the US. So if we had 100 Hamas members hiding at my kid's school, and they were firing rockets from my kid's school into Beverlywood, you think the US government would bomb that school? They would not bomb that school. And I would fight like hell for them to not bomb that school, even if my kids were killed by the people who were sending those bombs from that school. Bombing schools is just wrong, period. Period. Whether they have human shields or not. And it makes me so sad to see so many good people make these ridiculous mental gymnastics to somehow justify that. That is wrong. If we can't get agreement on that, then we can't agree on the 67 borders or anything else. We have to say Israel is absolutely and categorically wrong to bomb hospitals and bomb schools. And you can't just say, well, Hamas is making us do it. That is so weak, and you don't believe it. You don't. You're too good and too smart to believe that, okay? There is under no circumstances, I don't care how many Hamas members are at a school in the US, would we bomb that school. We bombed the school because it's full of Palestinians. That's why we bombed them in Gaza.
You think the United States, maybe I'm not catching what you're throwing here, you don't think the United States, if there was a group of Al-Qaeda terrorists that were shooting rockets towards your house 10 miles away, 15 miles away, you wouldn't want them to bomb that place as they were shooting rockets at your house and possibly digging tunnels under your daughter's...
I would fight like hell for that to not happen if that school was full of children.
And let me tell you,
yeah,
okay,
it's
so
terrible.
Let me draw
it's terrible. I'm not defending it. It's horrible. War is horrible.
No, Dave, you are refusing to say that it's wrong, that Israel is taking an action that is categorically wrong in bombing those schools. That is wrong.
It's a war crime. You can't. That's murder. That's not war.
Well,
that's not war, Dave. You
war.
Keep saying war is horrible. That's not war. That's murder on purpose. Those people don't have defense. The UN guy called the Israeli army, begged them to let the people leave that building who were seeking shelter. They said no. They killed them. That's murder, Dave. That's not war. That's not, and I understand that Hamas is probably wrong, right? But still, I'm not saying that Hamas is right or Israel's right or how to solve this conflict. I'm saying that tactic is a war crime. It's murder. It doesn't solve problems. It makes things worse, and you shouldn't defend it because you kind of are.
I don't know that I'm defending it as much as I think it's easy for all of us to sit here and tell a country under attack what to do.
Yes, it's very easy for me to tell people not to kill children in a school that with a blue UN flag over it.
Let me say
it's really easy. It doesn't take any thought.
You might have a more difficult time.
If you have to think about that, I say, what's wrong with you?
Jimmy, come on. You might have a more difficult time discussing that if it was your family that was being attacked.
No, that's not right, Dave. Okay? If my family were murdered by Hamas, and they wanted to murder me too, but they're holed up in a school, I wouldn't want to bomb that school. I would just not want to bomb that school. And I don't believe you would either.
Nice intellectual exercise about what we would do in a theoretical situation.
Wouldn't. I would not bomb a school with several hundred kids who didn't kill my kids.
All right,
that's
so
not them.
I understand everybody. Let me end on a couple of notes here. One, let's understand that the schools are not being used as schools right now. They're used for refugees who are innocent, okay? They're not all kids. They're, their families in there. I don't think it makes it any better, but just I want to be clear on that.
And they found rockets in the schools, and the UN has admitted there's video of it.
No. They found rockets in empty UN buildings. They have never found a rocket in ones that were actually bombed.
I thought there were no empty buildings because they need all the buildings.
No. I mean, I read that maybe the organization, the news organization that reported that could be wrong, but my reading of that from several sources was the UN turned in rockets that they found in empty buildings of theirs. They said we didn't do this. And by the way, they turned it into Hamas. They say they don't know who to turn it into, right? So I understand your point. But the ones that got bombed did not have missiles in them. Okay, so there's never been any report of that. So, but look, let's keep it real because it is real. It's not theoretical. If there were, in Steve's scenario, if they were firing Hamas, Al-Qaeda, whoever was firing from Mexico, and they were firing it from a Mexican school, America would bomb that school. okay, as long as there was Mexican kids in it. If there were American kids in that school, America would not bomb that school. You know it, everybody knows it, okay? Now, it doesn't make what America does right? No, it would be just as reprehensible, and I would agree with Jimmy and Steve and everybody who's mad at it. Like, don't kill those Mexican kids, even if those rockets are coming towards my family, okay? I can't have you killing those Mexican kids, right? Now, in this situation, you know, I know, everybody knows that if inside that UN-protected school, which is for refugees, okay, you had Israelis, you know that Israel would not bomb it.
Yes, war sucks.
Right. So they're saying we are willing to bomb that refugee building because there's Palestinians in there and not Israelis, and we don't care as much about them.